And my message board thread of the week is this. Could Jakob Ingebrigtsen win every single distance event at USA's? Let's go through it.
What are we defining as distance?
Well, certainly 1,500 through 10,000, including the steeplechase.
Okay. Because he couldn't win the 800. Let's just say that right now.
I'm not sure about that. We'll drop down to the 800 last. Let's start with the 10,000. Weldon's a 10,000 expert. You're fourth at USA's twice. The way I define it is, first of all, and someone's like the schedule. No, we're assuming he's running each event as a one-off. It's not like he has to do the schedule. No, like all the runners show up one weekend and they run like 10,000. Then the next weekend they show up and run the 5. Could he beat every American runner at that event?
I need to know who started this thread. Did you start this thread or someone else's thread?
No. If you started it, you should email us. We should send you a free t-shirt or something.
Yeah, if you want a Let's Run shirt, softest shirts in the business, go to shop.letsrun.com. We also have the $159.49 shirts. Check it all out. He's not going to win the 10K. Grant Fisher ran 26:33. Well, I mean, I don't know. He wins that race. I guarantee he beats Joe Klecker, right? So
what? Yeah, did you what? He raced Joe Klecker at the Sound Running track meet earlier this month. It was no contest. He broke him easily over the last lap. You're telling me that Jakob Ingebrigtsen couldn't win that race I just watched on Friday? No, he's winning.
Look, here's a better way to do it. He would have easily won that race on Friday night. Definitely. No doubt in my mind he would have won that race. It would have been a joke for him. He would have been like tempoing for 5.75 miles and sprinting for a 53 to loosen up to get ready for the Bowerman Mile the next day. Look, the way I'm thinking is also, now I think if Fisher pushes the pace and tries to break him early, it might be hard, but Fisher's not used to breaking the pace by himself and doing this stuff. So that would be really hard. So maybe one way to phrase it is if you arranged a match race between Jakob Ingebrigtsen and the U.S. champion at that U.S. champions distance, does he win? There's no one else in the race to push the pace. There's no rabbits. Jakob can just sit on him. And I don't think there's any way anyone in America out kicks him from the front. Pushes him away.
His name is Jakob. But yes, he wins a match race. I agree with you guys now.
And the 5,000 easily, right?
So he wins the 5,000, no doubt. 1,500, not even worth having that discussion.
I think he might be most vulnerable in the 1,500 of all the world.
Oh, please shut up.
What are you talking about?
If he lets it go slow, he might not want to. If he tries to sit on other people, then it becomes a kicker's race.
He's not going to let it go slow. If he's in the final, he'll just run 3:30. No one's going to follow him. Like, come on, Robert. We have the Olympic final. He destroyed the U.S. champion.
Ironically, I think he's most vulnerable in the kicker's race in the 1,500 of any level. Like, in the longer events, he can just sit on them.
Wait, now we're including the steeplechase in there too?
The question is the steeple. Now, here's the thing about the steeple. Jakob actually did run the steeple back in 2017. He was 16 years old, and he ran 8:26 in the steeple. That's ridiculously good for a 16-year-old. He actually made it to the World Championships. Now, he didn't do great. He didn't make the final. He ran 8:34 at Worlds, but Jakob at that time, he was a 3:56 miler or something. I would need him. I think if he did a few weeks of steeple training just over the barriers and stuff, with how much fitter he is now, if he can run 8:26 in 2017, looking at the core of U.S. steeplers, I'd feel pretty good about his chances as long as he'd been, he's not totally terrible over the barriers.
John, you're right. I thought this thread was absurd when Robert threw it out there. I thought that's why maybe he started it. But I agree with you. I think he would win. My biggest question, I want him, 2 months of steeple training. But if he gets the 2 months of steeple training, I think he wins. So my biggest question mark would probably be the 10K in a fast race if they could just run it out of him. But he hasn't done senior cross yet. He did junior cross, right?
Well, he won Eurocross last year. It wasn't World Cross, but he won Eurocross, and he beat some 27 mid guys in that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not ruling it out. It's pretty crazy. And what's his 800 PB? I mean, it's sort of crazy. This is the world's best miler, and we're writing him off in the 8. But what's his fastest 8?
It's 1:46.4 from 2020.
Really? That's
so
slow.
I think he could probably run 144, but there are, like, in a perfect race, but there are also a bunch of Americans who can do that too. I don't think he'd win the 800.
I forgot about the steeple. The fact that he ran his first world championship was in the steeplechase. That's crazy. We got to get him. Maybe that's what he's going to do in 2028. Like, you retired, and he said, no, not necessarily. Maybe he'll move back to the steeple. His
Oh no,
heart.
this is going to be Jenny Simpson's going to retire, and then Rojo's new thing, instead of getting Jenny to move back to the steeple, is to get Jakob to move to the steeple. This is his new, the 2020s. That's Rojo's hill he's going to die on.
This would be great, Robert. You need to start taking what's it called, Duolingo or Bobble. Who's this? There's this. Wasn't that a big sponsorship? Like everyone at USATF got like free internet Spanish lessons or something. We'll get them as a sponsor of the podcast. Robert, you got to start learning
Norwegian.
Norwegian. You become a Norwegian celebrity, and you'll push like Jakob. You'll be the Norwegian, color commentator. Like Jakob must return to the steeple. There's no other challenge left. People in America love him for the steeplechase.
Well, when I walked in the office today, I said to John Kelly, he's going to be the greatest ever. But then, if he wins the 1500 and 3 straight Olympics, like, did we talk about that already? How I told him? Yeah,
Yes, we
talked about
did, Robert.
that. That's only 3 golds. Like, a lot of people have 4 golds. Like, fair and stuff. 146.4. The good news is he told me that he's running 800 soon. So he's going back to Europe. I think he said he's going to run 800 like as a workout. So let's see what he does in that. And then I think he said he's going to run the 5,000 in Rome.
I thought he said he was doing the Dream Mile at the Bislett Games.
Definitely business games, but I think
He already has a 5,000 qualifier, so I
maybe
mean,
he's not doing. Maybe I'm making the Rome stuff up.
This podcast is so long, Robert's already forgotten what we've talked about.
yeah.
All right, guys. Do we have any non-pre stuff or anything else we want to talk about?
There was one thing I think is quite important, and it emerged from the regionals in Fayetteville, Arkansas, the NCAA West regionals. Mekhi Williams, 20 years old, University of Oregon, runs 9.86, which is only 400ths off the NCAA record.